Welcome to the channel. Today we're in a very special car. This is a Porsche Taycan, electric Porsche, and very kindly lent to me by the team down at Archibald's. And I'm trying out this car today because I'm ordering an Audi e-tron GT, which is awesome, y'all, in terms of design and so on. And this car this car is it's got the same skateboard as the Audi, right? So it's a good opportunity to test this out and see. Now this is a Porsche, so it drives like a Porsche. It doesn't drive like an Audi. It sounds like a crazy spaceship. The elephant in the room is this weird sound, right? And I just want to say there must have been a team of German engineers sitting around in some room with a bunch of woodwind instruments going, what would make it sound like? And then someone came up with, and that was locked in. I think we want to probably turn that off because it's nonsense. Like, this car is, I think as spec'd, $256,000. Okay, so New Zealand dollars. So, you can buy quite a lot with that, and I'm sort of comparing $256,000. I bought my Tesla Model 3 Performance. You can't really do a review of this without mentioning a Tesla, obviously. And I've driven 35,000 Ks in my Tesla, and so I'm really familiar with the dynamics and the daily driving nature of an electric car, Tesla in this case. So that cost me $135,000, and then I also have an Audi R8 2008, which I bought secondhand 5 years ago for around $80,000. So would have spent a little bit on the Audi tidying it up, even 220 grand, sorry, versus 260. You got two cars plus 40 grand change, or you have this. What would you do if you had that silly amount of money to waste on cars? We're just navigating some rather poor road conditions and roadworks, and here we are at Stop Go. Interesting. So while I'm driving, it's come up with the cameras have automatically come on. It's probably realized that I'm in a really tight road, and the cameras have come on, and it's showing me kind of road and where I am on the road, and it's showing me a 360 aerial view about the size of a postage stamp, where I can sort of see exactly where I am on the road, which is nice. I guess that's so I can not curb the really expensive wheels on this car. And it's actually quite a wide car. That is one thing I noticed straight away compared to my Model 3. This feels wider, it feels bigger. And I think partly it is bigger, but also the front lights, the Porsche hunches over the lights, you really see those in the front, so you really get that sense of how much car is in front of you there. On the Model 3, of course, it drops away and you don't see that at all. So you're very aware that you're in a big car. We'll try normal mode. You straight away notice the steering changes. Don't like the steering in this normal mode. And I'll put it back in Sport Plus because I prefer how the steering feels in there. It's taken a bit to get used to going back to the accelerator brake. Even in my Audi, I don't like to do accelerator brake. I like to use the gears a little bit more in the Audi to slow down onto corners. So, and in the Tesla, you're lifting to slow down. So you got to get back into that sort of different driving style. It's just different. It does mean that you're probably always buying new brakes. So I can see how it's a cunning plan to sell more brake pads and to, you know, increase your servicing regime with Porsche. I am trying to compare this with my Tesla and my R8, and I know they're both incredibly different cars. Tesla electric, so Tesla definitely has more power than this. You can actually just planting your foot in the Tesla, the way it's mapped is, I prefer the Tesla to this. But they're trying to simulate an old ice car with this, I can tell. And that's great, because that is actually their target market, right? They're trying to catch Porsche customers who, you know, would not normally consider an EV, and then this comes along and they're like, yeah, heck yes I would. So I get it, and that's awesome, because we all need to convert to EV, and we need to keep Greta really happy.
How dare you! You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Having said that, you know, to be fair, if I was trying to save the planet, I would not be buying an EV. I would be buying a bicycle, and I wouldn't even be buying a new bicycle. I'd be buying a like a Rally 20, a second hand, or a 10 speed from the 80s, you know, and I would go round in that, because that is truly saving the environment. Saving the environment is not buying a car. But coming into these corners, wow, you feel the weight of this car as you get into the corners. Like you feel that you're bringing an awful lot of weight with you. Yeah, I don't know if I like the heaviness of it. I knew it was a heavy car, but I'm just don't know if I'm enjoying how heavy it is, how heavy it feels. Like, it's certainly got the power in there to push the weight along. That's not a problem. I was actually stopped by a cyclist just before. Well, I'd stopped, and he came up to me, and he's a Porsche owner, and you know, so he can appreciate a good car when he sees one. And we had a wee bit of a chat about it, and we both agree, like, if you're going to spend this kind of money, buy a classic Porsche. And here's me talking like I'm about to buy a new Audi. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So yeah, it's true. I sometimes contradict myself. That squeaking is coming from in my seat. I better do the obligatory kind of stand still to take off straight line thing that you do in a Tesla, just because you can. No, I don't think I'm going to be impressed. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We've seen that party trick a million times. I don't know. It's a different setup to the Tesla, and it feels it. So you'll either like one or you'll like the other. I like the Tesla better than this, because this is trying to simulate something that it's not. It's trying to simulate a petrol car in some ways, in the way in what they've done, in the way they've tuned that. And yeah, I suppose that's okay. Good on them. I mean, that is the business goal, is to convert petrol heads, and I hope they do that with this car, and with cars like the e-tron GT, which I'm still excited about, by the way. I'm still excited. I realize I'm going to be getting the same kind of drivetrain. I realize I'm going to be getting the little somewhat sleepy Audi steering, but the comfort and the style that goes with Audi, that is, in my opinion, significantly superior to this Porsche. But that's only because I'm an Audi fan more than a Porsche fan. I think there's nothing wrong with this, and this is still a gorgeous car. I know I sound like the Porsche skeptic. I don't want to be that guy. I'm not a Porsche skeptic. I love Porsches. Oh, actually, yeah, I do love Porsches. interesting, in 2013, I took a Porsche Carrera 2, and this is on the 50th anniversary of Porsche, pretty significant, you know, and my friend and I took a Porsche Carrera 2 from Stuttgart in Germany through the Black Forest Ghetto cake and in the mountains, and it was winter time, so there was snow on the ground. We had a white Porsche. It was gorgeous. It was so much fun. We spent 4 days. It's a highlight. I was looking at some of the videos of it. I must put that into a separate YouTube video because I have so much video of that, but you can sort of see some of it coming by here on the screen, just some B-roll, as they call it in the trade, of our trip. Absolutely amazing. And, you know, that was just such a memorable driving experience in the 911. This is no 911 though. This is like we needed to make a family car of some sort that can take the child seats, and you know, for the family man who wants the Porsche. The creaking in this seat is driving me nuts. I'm sure it's easy to fix. I'm just really surprised that they've let that get out of the factory, because I know how much attention they spend in the Volkswagen group. I've never used the brakes so much as I have in this run. I'm pretty sure I want to get shares in the company that supplies brake pads to Porsche and Audi. Okay, just coming into the bay now. Okay, so let's see if we can, 35 k's left. Oh, let's see if we can actually get this thing charged. I have not tried this out and I haven't been told how to do it, so we'll just see what happens from somebody who thinks they know everything, can actually get this going. I don't know, I touched something and it did it. I'm putting that in. Got the green. Let's go and see what's happening inside the car. Here we go. Battery's charged at 9:02 p.m. on Friday, which is good to know. And 0.7 kilometers per minute. That's cool. Excellent. I didn't pre-cool it. This croissant has got like an apple and sort of frosting on the outside. It's very, very good. Look at that. Okay. What do I think? It's great. This is a great car if you are a Porsche owner and a family man and you want to put kids in the back seat, and your wife won't let you buy a sports car because maybe you don't have enough garage space and you want to go electric. This is the car for you. Oh, and you have a spare $250,000. This is definitely the car for you. It drives like a Porsche, it feels like a Porsche, but it's electric, you know, so it's cool. It's got all the other sort of weird, quirky things about Porsches which don't excite me, like the way that the UI works. But if you're a Porsche owner, you probably like all of that stuff, or at least you're used to it and that's familiar to you. So familiarity breeds content. No, wait. If you're familiar with it, that's probably a good thing, y'all. Charging, you know, it charges. That's what it does. You plug it in. What else is there? Boring. There's a lot of extra weight around selling and distributing a car like this, and you know, there's huge costs in the showrooms, salespeople and infrastructure, and having to have demo cars and all this sort of stuff, which of course you don't have with a model like the one that Elon's done. And that's I think that saving is essentially passed on, because you know, this car is expensive because it costs a huge amount of money for Volkswagen to develop the platform that this lives on and all the R&D. And Tesla is no different. It costs them the same, but they just don't have to pass on all that money to the end user. So their cars are still not cheap because it's still, you know, a lot of technology going into it, but at the same time, you know, it's being handled. I know, I like that. I think that is a trend that we should look at doing, and I think that's well done, Elon, for sorting that out. Anyway, I gotta unplug this and take it back. I got a call from the salesman just before, I'm gonna take it back, you know, so fair enough, I better get it back to the shop. So yeah, cheers. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.